This video is brought to you by the FARMER-KLEIN YouTube channel. Be sure to like, subscribe, and comment.
Hello everybody and welcome back to another Map First Impressions video. Today we're going to take a look at the Old Stream Farm. But before that, this video is brought to you by Adam and Charlie Farmer. Thank you for being farm barons. So let's first address the thumbnail. This map is indeed the very first Farming Simulator 22 map to receive a perfect score with our new scoring system. This map has indeed scored a 5 out of 5. And this video is going to walk you through why I believe so. But let's read a little bit of the description first. Welcome to Old Stream Farm. A famous farm of the 70s is back for even more fun, located in a fictional European countryside. Let's go ahead and load on up. I will say that I did load this map up in Farm Manager, and in doing so, I discovered that you do not own any land at the start. The entirety of the main farm is exactly how you see it here in New Farmer mode, with the exception you do not own any machinery at the start. Let's go ahead and take a look at that PDA. We'll zoom on out, and anyone that has played Old Stream Farm for any duration of time, well, this layout is going to look fairly familiar to you. So we do have all of the standard crop types available to us here on Farm Sim 22. And if we scroll on out and take a look at the lands area, you'll see that we start out by owning the main farm and field 1, as well as field 2. We also own all of the typical unbuyable land, which is going to include the road network, the river network, and the towns. That can be sold or bought for $0 if you are starting in a different play mode. In addition, field 17 is an open cow pasture that you can buy for $130,000, as well as field 27 is an open sheep pasture that you can buy for $87,500. Let's take a look at some of the other fields available to us. Field 3, right by the main farm, is $118,000 for 4.88 acres in size. Field 37 is 8.57 acres at $207,000, almost $208,000. Now we do have some smaller fields here, like Field 5, which includes a little bit of a forested area for 3.13 acres at $76,000. Field 12, which is kind of here in behind things, that is available for $15,800. We have a horse pasture that is located right here for $62,000. And let's talk about production. This map includes 10 different production areas. We're going to take a look at those during the fly around and the drive around. We have the standard default FS22 growth calendar here with respect to seasonal cycles. We also have, under prices, the ability to indeed sell every single crop product that we can grow here in the base game, including sugar beet cut. We also have the ability to sell our eggs, wool, and milk, silage, hay, straw, grass, and wood chips. And then we get into our production, and we can indeed sell every single production item that, once again, we can make in Farm Sim 22. Therefore, this map, shockingly, is one of the few that gets a full 1.0 with respect to the question, can you sell everything that you can produce, grow, or animals can create in Farm Sim 22? And the answer is yes, indeed, you can. Now, this map is, quite frankly, an iconic map, and the fact that this map is the first map to receive a perfect score is just so fitting, because this map, for a fact, I know, has been around since Farm Sim 15, so it's gone through 15, 17, 19, and 22. So 4 different iterations of Farm Sim has seen the Old Stream Farm. And in every single iteration, it looks mostly the same, but at the same point, there are unique touches that make every single iteration of this map unique. This should be held up as the pinnacle of what a classic map conversion should be done like. Let's go ahead and take a look at our starting fleet. So in new farmer mode, you're going to start out by owning the Fendt Favorite 511C, as well as the John Deere 7810. We have the Topliner 4090H Utzfar Harvester that is paired up with Topliner 4090H Grain Header. We then have a front loader in the Schaefer 2630. We have the 2017 Lizard truck. We also have the Karat 140 TD trailer. Then that is paired up with the Potager Servo 25 plow, the Rabe EG3/9 cultivator, the HK25 plus NS 3030 seeder. We then have a universal bucket for our front loader. We have a Topliner 4090H header trailer, and then we have the John Deere 900 kilogram front weight, and then a 600 kilogram front weight to boot. Let's go ahead and move on into our main farm tour here. So this is our career star point. We have the iconic Old Stream Farm farmhouse workshop kind of shed structure here, including an attached garden. We have our main farm entrance and our entry gate. Right across from the street, we do have our starting field, Field 1. And then Field 2 is just up the hill right there. And something that I really regret seeing lost in FS22, we have the ability to actually go inside of our farmhouse. Directly to our right, we have our sleep trigger. And then we have our wardrobe trigger located right here. We can go in and outside of the farmhouse through that door, should we so wish. We also have operable doors here. Another operable door there. And then we can move on into our kind of garage area and workshop. But once again, we have the way to open the doors from the outside. We have our workshop trigger located right there. We have our workshop there. And then this is our chicken coop. This is a custom chicken coop. So we have our egg spawn point here. I have had the privilege of seeing some screenshots of eggs being spawned here. And some eggs seem to spawn, or some pallets seem to spawn on the shelf, while others spawn on the ground. We have the ability to have 150 chickens in the coop. And then our food trough is located around the side. A nice storage shed here on the side of the farmhouse. A little bit of an eave. There we can also store some machinery. And then we have our cow barn here on the main farm. We have our animal trigger just inside the gate. 150 cows can be kept in this particular area. You can see the fenced in area right there. And then it extends all the way to the street. Now, to a casual observer, you may think, oh, this is our manure heap. But this is not the manure heap. At least I don't think it is. Because if we go inside of here, we do get a manure heap information down in the field info screen. This is where we're going to be able to load our manure if we just come up and hit R. We have our straw and our feed triggers located along this row. And then we have our milk trigger located right here. And then all of these doors do indeed open up. Just like that. Now, this map has done a very good job, for the most part, of using the new texturing technique on many of these new buildings. Here we have our slurry point. We have 3 silage bunkers available to us. We have 1 located right here. Then around the corner, we have 2 more kind of built into the bank. 1 located right there, and then another trigger located right there. Move on over to our pig pen. Pigsty, we have the ability to store 60 pigs in our pigsty. And just like the cows, our manure heap is actually inside the building here. We have our load trigger icon right there. Do not need to water our our pigs or our cows. And then we have the food trough located right there. Now, this farm includes all types of operable doors and storage areas. And like I said, they do a really great job of using the new texturing technique on most buildings scattered around the map. So here we have our farm silo. So we have our dump station and our fill pipe. Here we have our sheep pen. So we have our wool spawn point. We have our food trough for the sheep. And then I just want to show you the outside area. We have a wonderful little pond here, or kind of the end or start of maybe a potential stream, because that then continues on under the bridge and such. And the sheep buy trigger is located here along the side of the building. $100 sheep in this particular pen. In addition to all of these really great custom animal areas, everything, and I mean everything, here at the main farm, as far as buildings and decorative objects, can be sold. So if you start this on Farm Manager, all these buildings are here. But if you want to get rid of any or all of them, you can indeed do so. So yes, the farm is completely and totally customizable. Got a little different style shed right there. I like how we have a little bit different style sheds. You can imagine we've got kind of the old buildings here associated that are kind of stone. And then we maybe move on to some of the newer buildings that are maybe kind of toward the exterior of the farm, are maybe a bit more newer construction with block, steel, and beams and tin. We already talked about the pig area. More storage. We have a harvester. Then we have a whole area up here on this upper part that is available to build out even more of your main farm. And while we're up here, let's talk about placeables and ground textures, because this map includes some new custom ground textures. Let's go on into our build mode. We're going to go to landscaping, painting. Let's find a nice section of ground here, and let's take a look at all of the new ground textures. So we have animal mud, asphalt, cobblestone, concrete blocks. Then we have concrete tiles, dirt, another dirt, forest ground, grass, dry grass, gravel. We have river, rock, and then granite. We're going to look at those here in a moment. Under buildings, we have all of our standard buildings, and then we have some custom buildings in the big garage. Rotates 360 degrees. A shelter with back wall. And then a shelter without a front. In our silos, we have the custom farm silo. Located right there. A custom manure heap. That interestingly rotates not on the 90 degrees, but on the 45 degrees. We have a medium custom bunker silo. Nothing under silo extensions or containers or tools. We do have the ability, if we want, to put down our own custom farmhouse. It again includes some areas. So it is indeed enterable. Under production, we do not have any custom production or any custom placeable sell points, greenhouses, orchards. We do, I think, maybe have the custom windmills here. One that does not generate income and one that does generate income. Under animals, we do have the ability to put down the cow area. We have no custom horse area. We do have our custom pig area. We have our custom sheep area. The chickens, if you sell the main farmhouse, you sell the chickens, they're gone. You can't put them back, so just be careful if you do that. Nothing custom under bees and nothing else custom under animals. All of the other decorated items are also standard Farm Sim 22 fare. But let's take a look at these ground textures. So we have our custom dirt. At least I thought it looked like it was custom animal mud. For asphalt, we have our cobblestone, which looks different than the cobblestone I've seen on some other maps. Concrete, we have our tiles, other tiles. We have two different dirts. We have one dirt, then we have a second darker dirt, forest ground, grass, dry grass, gravel, river, and then we have two different stones right there, all using the new texturing technique. And that is pretty much the main farm. And like I said, you can sell everything on the main farm if you want. All the decorative bits go away, and then you can terraform this to your heart's content if you really want to build something else out. Now let's go ahead and get set up for the fly around. We'll fly around the map and then come back to the shop, get in our Mahindra and drive around the map and continue to talk about this map and the scoring system. So as I said, this map includes 10 built-in production. They are the biogas plant, the sawmill, dairy, bakery, carpentry, grain mill, grape processing, spinnery, the tailor, and the sugar mill. Let's go and pull up the PDA here. And I have to say, this has got to be one of the best map borders that we have seen yet. In fact, anything on the other side of those train tracks and on the other side of this near windmill is distance scenery. Many of the various buildings that we're going to see down in town that have doors actually can be opened, and therefore we could make use of them should we so wish as a player. Let's go ahead and kind of swing around to the north. Below is Field 2 that we do indeed own at the start in New Farmer mode. We have a bit of forestry going on here that we could buy if we wished. This map does include an off-map sell point, and that is going to be located through the tunnel there. Here we have field 17, and like I said, this is, if you buy this field, this is a cow pasture. We're going to see in the middle of this field a feeding ring, and you'll notice that there are no triggers that show up here. Well, that is because they don't show up until you buy the field. Then once you buy the field, we will have the food trigger, we will have the water trigger, we will also have then a animal buy trigger. So let's go ahead and kind of put some money into the save game and buy this, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. As I said, for $130,000, you can buy field 17, and when you do so, it now is an open cow pasture. So we come up here and we can buy 200 cows in this particular area. We have our water trough and then our food trigger located right there. And then our cows are going to be able to basically free roam inside of this whole fenced in field. Now, maybe you want to buy the field, but you don't want to have cows. Well, that's great, because you know what? You have that ability because we can sell the triggers. And when I was testing this out, I had to go in here into this mode. And if we go to demolish, we can click on water trough. Now we can't sell it because we now have a cow here. But if we do sell this, all of these triggers will go away. The water trough will go away. And then the food trough will also go away. We have an area over here that I'm going to say is set aside for possibly a secondary farm or the placement of production, should we so wish, here in the kind of the northeast corner of the map. I like to see maps when we have kind of varying elevations, and thus we have road networks that are going over and under each other, like this bridge here. Up here we have one of our sell points. Located inside. And we are literally on the map's edge. I'm at the map's edge right now. I can't go any further. That is map boundary. Everything you're seeing right now is basically map boundary. BlackSheep Modding has done a fabulous job with their map boundary. Even at this altitude, the map just appears to continue to go on for quite a distance, and we are well above the average height of anybody, even in third-person camera. We might be maybe this high. Now that crow reminded me of something else. This map includes 10 custom collectibles. In fact, we may see one or two of those custom collectibles during our tour. And those custom collectibles are little black sheep. Isn't that cool? So BlackSheep Modding has put custom collectibles on the map that are little black sheep. When you pick those up, I believe you get $8,000 or $80,000 each time you pick one up. And then I think you get an additional $200,000 bonus when you pick them all up. So we have our dairy, we have our dump station, pallet spawn point, and our interactive trigger. That is over here by field 12. Just raise up the altitude a little bit, and there we have our main start farm, once again to get a little bit of kind of orientation as to where we are now on the map. As we continue on, we have a production element right here in the Taylor that is, in my opinion, placed very well here within this town. We have our wardrobe trigger at the front door, our dump station to the side, our interactive icon, on the side door. And then around back, we have our pallet spawn point. And it is located right next to the restaurant sell point, which is also located right there. Across the street, we have our spinnery. And we have our dump station, our interactive icon, and our pallet spawn point. Then we have our grape processing facility. I think this is a really good marriage between old world and new. So we have the base game grape processing facility, our pallet spawn point, interactive icon, and dump station. And then at the street, we have kind of the old entryway into the area that then progresses you into kind of a modern structure. This is a perfect example, like I said, of buildings here in town that have operable doors. So we can make use of this area for our own if we wanted to have kind of a secondary farm area. Pretty much everything is buyable on this map. So this bit of land is buyable for $10,900. That area I told you up here that I thought was reserved for placeables or maybe a secondary farmyard is $82,800. The grape processing facility is $18,000. Right next door. Here we have the farmer's market nestled right here, kind of in town. Really well done. We have a mixture of buildings from the French map. We have a mixture of custom buildings. Then here we have our horse pasture. We go ahead and buy that. We'll be able to then open these doors. There we go. Now, this particular area is not sellable. It is fixed within the map, but I am not going to use that in any sort of negative way on raiding the farm, being customizable. I see this as kind of a secondary area anyway. So a very large custom horse area. We have our dump station for food and straw. We have our manure heap, which is a little interesting for horses because horses in FS22 don't generate manure. And then we have our horse buy point. 16 horses in this particular custom area. They are right there. Let's move on. In the corner, we have our sugar mill. We have our pallet spawn point, our interactive icon, and then around back. No doubt we have the dump station. Across the street from the sugar mill, we have the biogas plant. So we can enter the biogas plant with our scales. We have two three-sided silage bunkers, kind of around the corner and down a level from our BGA. Now, you may notice the BGA icons do not exist. Well, there, fine sir, we have to, guess what? Buy the land. $164,000 later, we now have the icons. We can come in here and then make use of the biogas plant. We have our dump station for our digester. We have our dump station for slurry and such. And then we have our pickup point for digestate. And our custom shed. Let's move on. Making our way over here to the sawmill. We have our carpentry. So we have our pallet spawn point. We have our dump station and interactive icon. We then have a sawmill with our pallet spawn point. Wood sell area here, or sell wood icon. Our interactive icon for the factory. Then our dump station. We do have the ability to rent the train in order to be able to sell off the map. And here is one of those very indicators. And once again, on the other side of those railroad tracks, that is all distance scenery. Really great job they have done on the distance scenery with this map. Now you will see these power towers stretching across the map, and they do indeed stretch across fields. Occasionally they are in fields, and these do have collisions, so you will need to pay attention to those if you are hiring helpers or just if you're working in those fields yourself. Over here we have a lime buy point. We have our stone crusher, and I like how this is down a level, so you could back your trailer on up to here and dump in the crusher, or you could dump on the ground. A little bit of a recycling area. And I mentioned I was going to show you one of the black sheeps. So here we are. There's one of the custom little black sheeps located right there. No more spoilers for me. Then we have our biomass heating plant where we can sell wood or dump wood chips and the like there. Continue on. Just follow this road on around. You have nice varying terrain. Nice forested area. We've got roads inside the forested area. The forest area just also has nice terrain changes in elevation and general topography, as we have really come to expect with Black Sheep maps. Now we're going to move on down here. We have a train silo. We also have a few other custom items down along this part of the map. And then we're going to loop up to field 27, which is a sheep pasture. So here we have our animal dealer. So we have our animal trigger. We have our sell point for the animal dealer. We have our flour mill. So we have our dump station, interactive icon, and pallet spawn point. We have another train rent icon located right there. We have our fuel station. Down here, it feels like we're kind of in a whole different part of the map. Everything is a bit flatter. Maybe the fields are a little bit bigger. This is part of the map extension for FS22. Those that played this map in FS19 remember that there was a fair bit of map extension to the north, and that has kind of been occupied with a few fields now. So here is the open sheep pasture field, field 27. And just like with the, just like with the field 17, which was a open cow pasture, if you buy this particular field, then the icons will show up for the water trough, the sheep buy point, 150 sheep in this particular area. Then we have our food ring and our pallet spawn point. Then the sheep will enjoy this large fenced-in area. Or if you want to, you could sell those triggers after buying this land and then make use of this for whatever you want it. Here we have the bakery. Again, I think they did a really fabulous job with kind of merging the production in to the map. So we have our interactive icon. We have our dump station and our pallet spawn point. We have another potential kind of little player area going on right here. These are all usable. Really well done. Multiplayer, you can put down your sleep trigger right here and basically make use of this as kind of your player farm. And then we are right back to the shop. So this is where we're going to touch down and then do a little bit of a drive around tour after we look at the shop. But we also have over here a bit of placeable area where you could buy this land and put down your own production, put down some sheds, whatever really you want. Now we have a whole new shop building here for Old Stream Farm 22. We have our buy, sell, repair, and trade trigger located right there. We have our trigger markers there for that. And then inside we have a wonderfully decorated shop area. We have inside our shop icon. This is where we can then buy our Mahindra. I'm gonna say lease it. This area is well equipped, kind of the smalls. Walk in, grab those. And then there's a couple of tricks up BlackSheep modding sleeve here. We have the ability to raise and lower our lifts. Well, not only one, but two lifts can be raised and lowered. Right there. Cool. Let's go ahead and take a look at our vehicle spawn point, and I digress. I misspoke. That is not a placeable area. This is a large vehicle spawn point. So you do not want to put anything here because, well, you won't be able to spawn any vehicles. Now wait. Now we've already kind of touched on most of the important things during our fly around, but you know what? I am a strong believer that driving around the map is going to give you a complete different perspective as to flying around, and that's why we include the drive around part of the tour. Also gives us time to recap and think about the things that we have already seen. So with respect to, does the map include base game production items? And yes, it does. We have 10 production items, as I said earlier. We have the bakery located right here. We have the BGA, sawmill, a dairy, carpentry, grain mill, grape processing, spinnery, tailor, and sugar mill. We have the ability to sell everything that we can make and everything that we can produce on this map, including the animal outputs of eggs, wool, and milk. So that is also another key point. We have some custom, where are we at here? Here we are. We have some custom animal pens that are here as fields, so that is a cool little touch. And again, we can sell those should we so wish. Just jump in and do a little in-cab driving. road is going to take us around past the main farm. And speaking of the main farm, we did learn that we can fully and totally customize the main farm. If there's any particular building that you do not like or you wish it was somewhere else, well, you can sell it and, for the most part, put it back down, with the real only exception being the chicken coop. That is kind of tied to the main. So also the shop is right up the road here if you want to go up the road. Whoa! It's a deer just running right down the street. Huh. Oh. With the exception of the chicken coop. We can't do the chicken coop. We have yet another right across the street from our farm. We have another area here that we could, if we wanted to, open up and make use of. Also gives us easy access to field 22 and 23. Like I said during the fly around, these areas do have collisions, so you will need to work around those. It's going to be your main farm entrance located right there. For the most part, nearly all of the buildings are indeed using the new 3D texturing technique with respect to the walls and such. And pretty much every building is using the new 3D window technique. So with respect to, are the buildings where appropriate using the new texture techniques? Yes, they are indeed. We do have some, in my opinion, some new custom ground textures that are also using that new technique. So this map is going to get a full score, as I said, on that regard. To our right, we have field 17, which what we said was a kind of a custom cow pasture, an open cow pasture. And if we wanted to use that field, we could sell it. We also have a little bit of a placeable area located right here. It's not super flat, but you could flatten it out to fit your wishes. So go ahead and come around here. Come up to the first sell point that we're going to drive through. It's located over here on the right. We're going to come in here, go over our scale. Through the dump station. We even have some sheds here we can make use of as additional storage. We have an exterior scale, so after we dump, we can get weighed empty and then find our way outside the gate. Everything to our left is scene boundary, map boundary. Our actual playable area is here to our right as we move down along the eastern edge of the map. Just like we saw in our fly around, we're coming up to the dairy next. Our dump stations, interactive icons, and pallet spawn points. Multiple elevation terrain. We have retaining wall here using this new texture technique. Like I said, I don't know which buildings are new, which buildings are custom with the map, but they are all, for the most part, using that new windowing technique. Here we have the tailor. So we have our interactive icon, our dump station for the tailor. Then we have our dump station for the restaurant sell point. Directly beside it. Come around back to our tailor pallet spawn point. Across the street, we have our raisin factory, our grape processing facility. You're going to want to come in here with a fairly narrow piece of machinery. We have our dump station interactive icon located right there. It is a back entrance. It is a bit wider, so that's good to see. Here we have another one of those possible secondary farms. Our farmer's market. There we go. Sorry, a farmer's market sell point. Right across the street from that, we have our horse area, complete custom horse area. You could buy that if you wanted to. Move on to our biogas plant. Scale. And we progress on to our biogas digester. Interactive icon. Dump station for slurry. Digestate icon. Remember, you have to buy the land that the BGA is on in order to make use of it. Another entry here or potential exit with our scale down at this level. And then right along the river, we have our two silage bunkers for the biogas plant. Across from the biogas plant, we have the sugar mill. Dump station around back. Our pallet spawn point. We'll need to back out of here. This is not a pull through. So the hedges here do not have collisions. Just want to check into those. We have seen animated traffic. We do see pedestrians walking around. There's our biomass heating plant on this upper tier. We have the ability to dump into our stone crusher from above or from below, where we also have our lime bulk buy point. A cool little recycling area also set up here. Go ahead and make our way down to the animal dealer. So the last rating, are the player triggers and interactive areas clearly marked? I believe that they are. So that is why I have, as I said, given the map a full 5.0 out of 5.0. This map is the first to get a full 5 rating. I've had a few come close. They have fallen short in some small regard. Is this map worth its weight? I think it is. I think it is definitely worth its weight. Is it going to appeal to everybody? No. Do I expect it to appeal to everybody? No. There'll be plenty of people that will have issues with it. The map's too small. The fields are too small. The fields are too hilly. The fields are too square. No, they're not square. You never know. But you know what? This map is going to appeal to a whole lot of people. We have our animal buy trigger. Go ahead and hit that. We have our animal dealer sell point for hay, straw, grass, and such. Cut sugar beets. Let me know down in the comments below, what do you think of the old green farm? Is this the best iteration? Or do you prefer the FS 15, 17, or 19 iterations? We have our rent train there. Refuel station. And then we have our off-map sell point icon. I just want to check here. Sawmill. Okay, we need to drive down here to the sawmill. And then we will loop around. So we'll once again and jump in cab and drive on down to the sawmill. This lower part of the map feels a bit flatter. Fields are a little bit bigger. Train going across there. And then once again, the map border is just really, really well done. If we didn't have those pop-ups telling you that no, go that way, I wonder how many people would just keep on driving and slam right into that invisible map boundary wall. You know what? We're not going to be able to. Oh, yeah. Here we go. This will take us over to the sawmill. It's located right there in front of us, actually. Turn on in. So we have our dump station for our logs, our interactive icon, our log sell point, our pallet spawn point. Then we have the carpentry located right here, our pallet spawn point for furniture, our dump station for our logs and or planks, and then our interactive icon at the front door. Let's see here. What do we need to still hit upon? Trying to think. I don't think we talked about the train silo, did we? Let's go on over to that. So here we have our train silo. This is where we are going to transfer product to the train. We have our dump station located right here to dump into the train silo. We have our fill trigger located right there to pull products out of the train silo. Let's go ahead and take a look and see what the train silo holds. So the train silo is going to hold wheat, barley, oat, canola, sorghum, wheat, olives, sunflower, soybeans, corn, potatoes, sugar beet, sugarcane, wood chips, and back to wheat. The main farm silo does hold all of the standard grains. It does not hold anything else. I know sometimes we have seen on the Old Stream Farm map that we also have the ability to store like silage or hay and straw. That is not on this particular iteration. And we have our dump and fill pipes for the train right there. So guys, I think that is just about going to do it. So let's take a real quick look. We have our sawmill there, our dump stations. Take a look at the spinnery, grape processing, horses, all of that, the sheep. We have taken a look at the bakery, the vehicle shop, and this whole area up here. So yeah, that is going to do us for the Old Stream Farm. Let me know down in the comments, what do you think of this particular map? I think pretty highly of this map. I was hoping this map would live up to I don't know about the hype because I don't follow the hype on maps anymore, but I was hoping this map would live up to people's expectations, including my own. And I have to say that while I typically make sure that I keep my expectations fairly low-keyed, I did that with this map, just hoping that those low-key expectations would be kind of blown away, and in fact, I believe they are indeed. We will be doing a live stream series, at the very least, on this map in the future. And until next time, happy farming.